All right, so I'll start with some news articles that I thought were interesting. The Daily Mail, which is not a very high-quality scientific journal, but I think they usually don't completely make stuff up. They claim people are making Alzheimer's vaccines. They have 6 experimental ones entering trials, which is very interesting. I have read other research pointing out one thing they say I know is true here is that they're moving away from the amyloid plaques and to the tau proteins as the reason for Alzheimer's. But anyway, they say the treatments that have currently been approved are ridiculous, expensive, ineffective, and but a vaccine would be much better. And so that's something to look forward to. There are a lot of sick children in China, and a bunch of people have freaked out and said maybe there's another COVID spreading, but at least this article says all that's happening is just what they expected. After 2 years of the most extreme lockdown in the world, all the children have not gotten the usual colds and flus. And so when the lockdown ends, you will have a very bad flu season as they all get the ordinary diseases. So maybe that's all it is. I'm sure we'll hear more about this. Try to get rid of this garbage. All right, so this I think is certainly true. I'm watching as people get fed up with electric vehicles. They turn out to have a lot of disadvantages people didn't think of, and it's hard to find charging stations. And I say they're not growing anymore. A lot of people, let's see if there's any way to, it let me read this article before in the other browser, but it's blocking me here. This happens to me a lot. Let me open it in my other browser. I don't understand these ineffective paywalls, but I read it in this browser with no trouble earlier. All right. Now this one's blocking me. Oh, it didn't block me this morning.
What site is that, Tim?
It is economist.com, and maybe they only let you read it like for the first 3 hours or something and then block it.
There's a lot of fake videos and articles on the internet disparaging EVs. Apparently by like automakers and,
This one seemed pretty impressive to me, but anyway, I can't show it to you now, and I guess you can't read it unless you can get to archive.ph. Archive.ph for some reason is blocked on the networks I use. Let's see, I think it's blocked on C. I can't get to it at home. Yep, this is it. It wants the Cloudflare CAPTCHA, and it'll just keep endlessly giving me CAPTCHAs. So anyway.
Okay, so wait, what is it, Sam? It's The Economist.
I can put the link in the chat.
Okay,
if maybe you know some way to get past the paywall, that would be good.
Yep.
I should learn some way to get past it, because this unfortunately happens to me a lot. I read links in the morning, and by the evening I can't read them anymore. Anyway, Splunk has a remote code injection vulnerability. It sounds pretty serious, and you have to upgrade to the latest version of Splunk, so that sounds pretty exciting. Probably will affect a lot of people. And this one is quite clever. There's a design flaw in Google Workspace where you get in using service tokens, a severe design flaw in Google Workspace. And it's got something called domain-wide delegation. So you can send, I think this is the one where there's a tool called Delafriend, and I think it modifies Java Web Tokens, claiming more privileges, and it's able to sort of brute force them until it finds a way to get privileges you shouldn't have. So it's an interesting flaw, and I don't know if it's been patched yet. And this was amazing to me, the kind of thing I assume would be fake, but apparently not. It's in Europe. Meta, the company that owns Facebook, decided the GDPR makes it possible for you to click an option to choose not to let them sell your data. And Meta says, okay, but if you want to not have us sell your data, you have to pay £251 a year for the privilege of us not selling your data. And that, they claim, is a violation of GDPR. It certainly is ridiculous. I'm amazed that anybody would put up with that. Certainly, they deserve to get punished for trying that.
All right, I've got it, Sam. It's on archive.org.
Good. All right. And let's see if there's any way to make it bigger for you. Maybe this. Yeah, so if you scroll down there, there's an interesting chart. And let's see, how did you do it? You kind of, no, I don't know. Yeah, there's the chart. So it shows things growing and then stopping growing. EV, and a lot of people are questioning EVs, and they're thinking about other fuels like hydrogen. Toyota, the head of Toyota in particular, thinks electric vehicles are a bad idea. and the hydrogen is a better idea. So anyway, and I think the other thing people found is the cars in America are expensive, and the cost of ownership is high. It costs a lot more dollars per year to own an electric car than a gasoline car, and many of the car manufacturers have stopped their programs to build batteries and build electric cars because they're not selling. They're just building more gasoline cars. So it's not working very well in America, is the main argument. All right, I'm going to the Wayback Machine directly. That's good. That's what I should try. Anyway, good. And let me see. Yeah, archive.ph somehow doesn't work anywhere I go. I don't know why. It's blocked everywhere I go. Anyway, there used to be something called 12foot.io, and that stopped working too. You know, they keep blocking all the ways to get around paywalls. This is pretty horrifying. If you're running Linux, you are likely using ZFS, at least if you're running BSD, and there's a data corruption issue, which they have not gotten to the bottom of. There is no fix. They don't even understand it. They just suggest some configuration changes that might lower the probability of it happening to you, but they don't even know why. So that's disturbing. Got to have backups, I guess. And here's another article promoting hydrogen. They've developed a reactor that creates hydrogen more cheaply and more environmentally by using recycled aluminum, which there's an awful lot in aluminum cans. And they claim that this is a much more effective way to create hydrogen. Most hydrogen in America is currently made from fossil fuels, so it releases carbon and it doesn't actually do any good for the environment. But there are other ways to make it, which currently are more expensive, but they'll probably come down.
Yes, currently the hydrogen is made by methane.
Right.
Gas.
Right. But they
But in Europe, in Northern Europe, they started to build factory to use wind power to generate hydrogen.
yeah, that's good. I didn't hear about the wind power. I know you can do it by electrolyzing water, and you can do it in these reactors. So, this is what I think the head of Toyota thinks is going to be the real future: is hydrogen, not
The U.S.
not electric.
also stopped building factory to make hydrogen.
U.S. has them or doesn't have them?
Try to build factory.
He's trying to build them. Yeah.
It does do scale hydrogen generation.
Yes. Yeah, they say hydrogen will be a big growth industry,
Yeah.
and to get green fossil fuels. They get green fuels, green power. And here's Delafriend. This is the tool you can download that does this attack on Google service accounts. So that's pretty interesting. It'd be fun to try and see how it works. Anyway, let me see if there's anything else fun to mention here. There's a lot of people are worried about criminals using smart large language models to write malware, but if you look at the forums, which these guys did in Sophos, the criminals are not finding those tools very useful, and they're arguing about them. Most of them think it's not really doing them any good. I think that's all the news I have. I'm going to stop this recording.